What's good, y'all? You dub back here again, here at the tail end, the end game of 2019. Let's get it. Shout out to all the subs who keep this channel moving, grinding. I am very grateful and thankful for y'all. Y'all give me inspiration, motivation. Hey, just get on your job. Hey, if any of you are Ti fans, back from back in the day, that urban legend classic, one of the all-time greatest albums. Anyways. Yes, I am grateful, and y'all do inspire or ask me to do videos, and unlike some YouTubers, I actually respond. Fortunately, some YouTubers do respond, but I'm here. This is your channel as much as mine, and we're gonna get to it now. I was asked after my Gentle Fist versus Fishman Karate video. Yo, can you do, you know, Rokushiki versus Rock Lee style? Like, all right. That's actually a really, really good one. So I actually had to do a bit of research the other day, and whatnot. And so, man, this is so, yo. I love the intelligent dudes that be watching my videos because y'all actually got me to think, man. I'm like, damn. I knew both abilities, but I didn't like pay too much attention. So from time to time, I have to go back over to even see what Rokushiki is. I've done enough reading to know generally what Rock Lee, my guy's style is. Number one, he doesn't have a name. All right. And anyone who says it as, I mean, there are Naruto fans that may say that. As far as I know, it doesn't have a name. And I will say that the 8 gates, I will not go into detail because, or for each of the gates, there are other videos. I think Swag Kage has done a video. I've talked about it in the past a little bit, if I recall correctly. But you can just go on the Naruto wiki, and it's easier to understand than me explaining it. Seriously, because each of the lotuses and opening of the chakra points is pretty insane. So without further ado, excuse me, let's start with Rokushiki. Now, Rokushiki literally translates to 6 ways. Okay, there are 6 different move sets that help to make the person who trained in it to do some superhuman stuff. Self-admittedly, like it's. I believe this was Rob Lucci was talking about and explained it, and I think Bluno talked a little bit about it. And it's amazing because each of the users specialize. And I say amazing, you would think it, but it's really amazing because each user specializes in a different area. And you're like, and sometimes it's surprising. Like some people who specialize in Suru, you're like, oh. Some people who specialize in Tekka, you're like, oh. But it kind of makes sense because what the Rokushiki style does is its technique to amplify your natural abilities as well as kind of it disguises from your weaknesses. Like it makes it to where anywhere you're weak at, it literally covers up for. So we have Geppo, Tekai, Shigon, Rankaku, Soru, and Kamiye. Now there's after you mastered all 6, according to Rob Lucci, there's the Rokugan. And I do think there's some other Ogi level techniques, excuse me. Oni. Hanma Yujiro, that's all I have to say. But Ogi level techniques, like secret techniques that you can utilize, I'm pretty sure. And there's a reason I'm saying this because people say, well, mastered all 6. Rob Lucci supposedly did, but there's question marks for me for that. He could utilize all 6 damn well, but I do think there are other masters. Kong, if someone threw up Garp, I wouldn't be shocked. One of the old Cypher Pool Age at Zero ones, maybe Rob Lucci post time skip. I would like that as well in more advanced. But yeah, I definitely think Kong is probably the best user. If not, maybe that Victorian Gorbachev looking Gorosei. I think maybe he might be the best. But yeah, Kong or him, I think, are probably the best Rokushiki users. And there are reasons I say that. And also, you could probably throw in the blonde Gorosei, but it is what it is. Now, Geppo. We see Sanji used a kind of advanced skywalk or blue walk where Sanji can just you see him running on the air or running underwater. And the thing is, Geppo pretty much you can kick in the air. It's pretty cool. Brundi world. we saw my dog Brandy World use it too, which is super super sick in 3D 2Y. It's at first I'll be forgetting about it don't dawn on me with the name. I was like, oh yeah, that ability. So if you've seen it done by a number of characters, Luffy to a degree does it in Gear Fourth in his Bound Man state where he kicks there. Yeah. So moving on, we have Tekai, which we've seen a number of people use it. You've seen it with Damon Bambu, Vice Admiral Vergo. Vergo, his Tekai was nice to where it cracked, it fractured Sanji's leg, so he had a nice one there. I don't believe he used hockey with that. I don't believe he used armor and hockey with that. He might have, but I don't recall at the moment. Jabra once again. It seems like doggone Sanji was the one who was really fighting the Tekai users. Jabra, his was special because most people when they use Tekai, even Rob Lucci, and this is why I'm saying some specialized and better. Rob Lucci stood still when Luffy hit him. I forget if Bluno used it. I know he could, but I forget if he did. But Jabra, focus on him. He's actually able to move while using Tekai. And Tekai is pretty much what is described as an iron body. Okay, an iron body to where you can amplify and you like your muscles and stuff, and it strengthens you. So when it comes to Tekai, I mean not Tekai. When it comes to Rokushiki as a whole, pretty much you're utilizing superhuman actions, but it's based on your physical body. Like it's not anything external. It's not hockey. It's not devil fruits. Well, hockey's internal, but you get my point. Is you're not training some spiritual willpower thing. Um, you're literally just using your physical body and mastering it in a certain form or fashion. Uh, One thing, we'll get to Soru because I'm about to say one thing about the legs. Moving on, Shigon. Now, Shigon we normally see in Rob Lucci, especially we saw it with the finger. We've seen a flying Shigon by Stussy, the underground, the queen of the pleasure quarter, the Madame. Okay, and for those who don't catch it, that's like the queen of the brothel, okay? The queen of the whorehouses, right? Well, she's an underground secret agent, um, and she's also Cypherpo Aja Zero, CP0. Well, she can use a flying gun. She can hit you away. So it's like a pressurized like hey, I don't even know exactly how she does it. I know Rob Lucci is very effective because of the claw, but apparently you can pretty much do Shigan with all parts of the body. From what I'm gathering from the technique, pretty much it's a piercing technique. Kind of like a bullet, right? Sending a bullet from your body, if you will, with just pure raw force, which I think is sick as hell. Um, but it's not one I think of too much. But I'm like, oh yeah, when I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, Shigan, duh. Ronkaku. Ronkaku is, and we normally see it with kicks, but it's pretty much sending a pressurized shockwave. I could see Sanji totally doing it, but um, dude, Kaku with the because of his this is why I say it's more than just the kicks. We saw him do it with his legs. He fight his Yotoryu style, his four sword style. But we also saw use his long neck, his long giraffe neck, okay, to be able to do that. So it's sending out kind of like sword slashes with your body, which is once again insane. Uh Soru, Luffy did a version of it with Gear Secondo. He learned it. He kind of adapted it to his rubber body and compressed it. But pretty much, we've seen so many people do it from Kobe, Rob Lucci. Plenty of folk have done Soru. All right, it's pretty much stamping your feet really, really fast, using your leg muscles really, really fast, and being able to move at like supersonic, if not great hypersonic speeds. It's insane. It's the most common Rokushiki style technique. It's the one I think of more than any others. And finally, Kamiye. Right, I never remember the name, but I remember it. I remember the technique because it was so damn special. Now, Kamiye is pretty much called being paper, like being able to move and stuff. To where when Luffy went to punch Bluno, it was almost like Bluno wasn't there. Like he could just float like the wind, which is insane. That one is one of the actually most incredible and probably the best defensive ability to have. Especially if you utilize observation hockey. So like Tech Eye, I could still see it being broken through, but Kamiya, man, that would be. It's kind of like mindless Luffy. That'd be pretty incredible, for someone to utilize, and it'd be hard as hell to deal with. I just put that out there, right there. And so Rokugan, all right. If you're talking about that, Rokugan is literally like sending a shockwave through the body. Uh, is it better than what Fishman Karate does? I don't know, but it messed Luffy up, so probably. It messed Luffy up, bro. Send this shock like it bypassed. Luffy, you got this great, durability. Doesn't matter. Rokugan! Man. So that's the basis you got. Now, Rock Lee's style is of taijutsu, all right? Is external taijutsu. I talked about how the Gentle Fist was internal taijutsu to where it disrupted the chakra points. It was more of an assassin's lethal thing. Rock Lee's old school, like with Luffy and Sanji doing One Piece, all right? He hit you and he hit you hard. And he used the old school weight training that you see Son Goku and Piccolo Jr. use in the 23rd Budokai Tenkaichi. Okay, go back to Dragon Ball, right? He drops the weights. He gets extraordinarily faster. And I'm not saying he necessarily gets stronger, but speed adds to strength. All right. There's Newton's second law of motion. Okay. People know about the first law, which deals with inertia. Pretty much an object in motion stays in motion, an object at rest stays at rest. Okay, that deals with potential and kinetic energy. I don't want to bore y'all with the physics. The most famous is Newton's third law of motion, which is for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. People need to understand that, and that's actually more than physics. That's in all of life, really. And the second one though is velocity times mass equals force. Now, I say velocity, I might acceleration, excuse me. Acceleration times mass equals force. Okay. This is why, and I explain it like this, all right. Can let's say a Mini Coupe or VW Bug, all right, Volkswagen Beetle, right? Can that actually destroy an 18 wheeler? Theoretically, yes. But here's the thing, bro. In order for it to do that, you would need, like, let's say the Vita Bug. All right, let's say it's 1,000 pounds, right? It's half a ton. Okay, and let's say the 18 wheeler is, I'll be generously low. I'll say the 18 wheeler is like 30,000. I'll just go 15,000 to be generous. All right, making this simple for the numbers. I don't want to get too astronomical. But so we have 1,000 pound vehicle versus a 15,000 pound vehicle, right? Now I'll get into what it'll to take to equal it out. All right, in miles per hour. Let's say the 15,000 pound 18 wheeler goes, let's say it goes 60 miles an hour on the highway, on the interstate. That's reasonable. So multiply that out. That would mean pound, whatever the conversion, all right, would be 900,000. Right, 900,000. Keep that number in mind. Um, when it comes to the VW, for the Beetle to equate that, that means that it would have to be going. See what 1,000. That means it would have to be going 900 miles an hour to be able to equate that, to be able to equal the force. You see how ridiculous that is? For the 15,000 pound object only needs to be going 60,000 miles an hour. The 1,000 pound object needs to be going 900 miles an hour, which I don't even think is physically possible for that car. So that car is always going to get wrecked. That car you would have to up the mass and up the or up the acceleration to ridiculous levels. You see why things destroyed. You see why a bigger person running at you versus a smaller person, the smaller person usually gets wrecked. That's why. There's things like technique and stuff that mitigate that literally, can counter and curb that. But all that is to say, why does that matter? Well, that's Rock Lee's fighting style. Mike Guy has a similar one, but Rock Lee amps it up like that. I was asked about Rock Lee. So there's that. So he gets faster and so his hits go stronger. Um, I think it was Borsellino, Admiral Kizaru Borsellino said something about speed equals power, and he does. Speed, and weight. Boom. There you go. That's why I say one of the things speed kills. That's part of it. Speed does kill, but you have to have the mass uh behind it to impact it. Okay. Now, also you have the whole eight gates aspect, and it just enhances his physical. It makes him faster and whatnot, which again makes him even more powerful. So to simplify Rock Lee, I explained all of Rokushiki because there's multiple techniques. To simplify Rock Lee's fighting style, it is based on speed and striking power. Okay. He also, and I wish he would have mastered it, Kishimoto. He had the drunken fist style as well. So he was intoxicated on sake, but I will throw that in there because if we're gonna add in Kamiye, we're gonna add in that in the potential observation hockey effect with Rokushiki. You throw in drunken fist style Rock Lee where he's unpredictable and stuff. Now it's you could say, well, you just said it's based on speed and such, but again, Rock Lee's fighting style. We're going to look at all aspects. In Drunken Fist style, if he was able to do it, oh, there's a legitimate Drunken Fist style to where Drunken Fist Kung Fu, look it up. It's beautiful. If you need a great example in fiction to be able to see it, Iron Fist, Season 1, Episode 8, at the door. Danny Rand, a Kung Fu master, mind you, the best fighter amongst the defenders in Marvel Netflix, was getting that work at him. He was going in versus the drunken fist master, bro. This dude was beast. I'm like, yeah, boys. Because you ever deal with a drunk person? A drunk person acts all kinds of ways and will do things and then hit you at a crazy angle. That's what Drunken Fist does. There are a number of iterations, but yeah, Drunken Fist is a real thing. And you give it to somebody like Rock Lee, he was putting that work on Kimimaro, but sadly we never saw it again. Logic, I know it's Kishimoto, but it is a thing. So overall, to keep this as brief as possible, Rokushiki is the technical more, and if it was our world, I would definitely Rokushiki. I would say, but the thing is, you would need to train years upon years. Rock Lee was achieving craziness at a young age. So Rock Lee stuff, okay, this is tough because on one hand, Rokushiki deals in superhuman abilities, but it's through years upon years of training since you were a child. That's the thing. If you were able to implement these things from a child, now you can say, well, what about Kobe? Kobe hasn't mastered all the Rokushiki techniques. Get that out of here. He's got a ways to go. And even if he learns all six, that doesn't mean he masters it. You see what I'm saying? It's like why some of the best Devil Fruit users they've been having their Devil Fruit for decades. Sir Crocodile, Joker, Katakuri, the Admirals. They've been having this thing for decades. Okay, so of course they mastered it better. Luffy, he's had his for over a decade, like 12 years. So there's that. Um, and so there's that. If you train Rokushiki, better. But if you need it for quicker, more reliable, you still need a lot of training. But Rock Lee styles, you can learn drunken kung fu. You can learn to have the weight training. Hajime no Ippo, Makanoichi Ippo utilizes his wrist, and he come back and he already had natural power, but man, his punches blow things away after he's dropped those weights from using them for so long. We saw once again Son Goku and Piccolo Jr. how much stronger, how much more powerful they got once they dropped them weights. The weighted turban, the weighted cloak, the weighted gi. See what I'm saying? So there's that from a practical standpoint and a quicker Rock Lee. But from a technical aspect, absolutely with the Rokushiki. What I would say is actually better. That's tough because this is one of them. I'm not trying to. This is another one. I'm not trying to sit on the fence. It's what you're after. If you're after wanting to be a more complete martial artist, Rokushiki, Rokushiki, you won't be able to do CP0 or CP9 techniques, right? But you would actually be able, if you trained, you would be able to do a lot, except Geppo. Geppo is the only one that we physically cannot achieve. Other than that, every one of the other ones, yeah, you can definitely get faster on your feet. You can definitely use dodging. I mean, I can name how many boxers. Okay, you can definitely have a Tekai defense. They literally do that in karate and a number of martial arts. You can have a Rankaku type kick. Now it won't extend as a wind blade, but if you connect, you can break through trees like a Muay Thai and stuff. So there's legitimate principles. So there is that. If you want to be the more complete fighter, but if you want to just get in there in a more practical set, a normal everyday person set, oh, absolutely, Rock Lee's fight style, absolutely. The weight training, the 100 push-ups a day or 10,000 sit-ups and the stuff that he does. If I don't do this, I'm going to do that. The training, the classic repetition, and the training, and understand what Rock Lee's fighting style. Get the sparring in, get the sparring game in too. Get the sparring game in too. But then you will be like you do Rock Lee style. You will be a pro fighter, casually, if not a world champion. If you do Rokushiki, you will be grandmaster level in a sensei. So it's just like a kind of what boiled down to what happened in the last video. If you want grandmaster fighting style, Rokushiki. If you want professional fighter, quicker, in combat sports, you go with Rock Lee's fighting style. That's how I would have it. Um, you know, is either better? Not really. I can't, more power does Rock Lee with striking, but overall, Tekai, Kamiye, and such, it's better, and you can have more durability because Rock Lee can get even faster, but he got to bust that 8 gate out. So as usual, comes down to the user. Rock Lee's is more dangerous as well. You can't take the shortcuts to excellence. And so that's where the Rokushiki comes in. Unexpected Wonder, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me your thoughts on this subject. It is a very fascinating one. And if there's any other fighting styles, I still need to do. I got to do the ballet style by Bon Clay, Mr. Two, and the ballet dance, the lethal one in King and Usher. And if there's any other fighting styles, please, I love breaking this down, and it's pretty enlightening to even me, and it teaches me some things when I sit down and analyze and think about it. So, thank you for the suggestion. This was a phenomenal, wonderful suggestion. All right, y'all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Peace. Stay safe out there, y'all.